Hi there. Today I'm dressed up a little bit because I want to talk to you about something other than cars, and that is a couple anecdotes from the brief time I spent at Alexander's. This is my ID card from when I was there, and you may or may not remember Alexander's. If you're younger than I am, you probably don't, but they were a local chain of department stores somewhere between Kmart and Macy's. If truth be told, closer to Kmart. I worked there fairly briefly for a few months. And that was an interesting job because the application had you take an honesty test. And the honesty test took about, I would say, most people would do it in about an hour. And it was clearly an honesty test, and it was clearly not testing any skill other than if you're lying, are you at least consistently lying? And that was interesting. And then they asked me about my previous work, and I told them I'd worked at a fast food restaurant called Rustler, and I had worked at the shoe store, so they already had somebody in shoes, so they assigned me to housewares because since I had worked at Rustler, I must know everything at all about pots, pans, and kitchenware. And they did not train me on the one thing I really needed to know. In their 3 days of training, which were basically, if we ever catch you stealing, we will send you to prison. We don't care if you take a single stick of gum. We hate you and we'll send you to prison. Be honest, they didn't really want their employees to do their best. They just wanted them to show up on time and not steal anything. And to that expectation, I think that most of us did pretty well. So I was there, and it didn't take very long before I realized that the one thing I needed to know, which I had not been trained in, was what to do when a customer says they need to use the bathroom. And the answer, sadly, was, you go to another store because we don't let you use our bathrooms. One of the interesting things is that we had a Data General Eclipse mini computer system, which I believe at the time cost about $100,000 in every store. And the original purpose of these mini computers, which were pretty sophisticated for the time, we're talking a long time ago, was to run the time card system and mostly to run the cash registers. However, they got rid of the computerized cash registers pretty quickly and went back to the old style manual ones, so we had this mini computer in each store, which as far as I know was used just for the time clocks and maybe for inventory. At night, everybody, all the cashiers had to stay for about an hour or two as they reconciled the registers. You couldn't be a penny above or a penny below. Digital time card punch thing over here, you know? It's really kind of funny. So my time at Alexander's ended because using these digital time clocks, twice I showed up there a few seconds after my shift was supposed to start, so about 1 minute late. And then the third time I realized I was going to be a minute late, I just turned around in the parking lot and said, well, there's no point in my showing up just to get fired, is there? And I got to keep my time card for what it's worth, which is, as far as I know, nothing. The one other interesting thing about this shop was the cafeteria. They had really almost no benefits unless you worked there full time for a ridiculous number of years, but everybody could partake in the cafeteria, which worked at cost. It was kind of fun because I met a couple of nice people there, and we were friends for a while afterwards. And oh yes, I found out the markup on picture frames is that you take something at 17 cents and you sell it for $7.99. That was interesting. The one time that they accidentally put the wholesale prices out into something that the employees could see. Anyway, that's my memories of Alexander's for what it's worth, which isn't much. I hope that you enjoyed them. If you worked at Alexander's, I hope that you'll comment. If you work at one of our competitors, I hope that you'll also comment. And if you shopped at Alexander's, I hope that you'll comment.